Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to the September edition of Chris's Inked Pens. As we speak, as I'm filming this, it's August 31st, so I'll be starting with these new pens right now, and tomorrow is the first day of the new month, and I'm always really happy to see September come on board because just living through August in South Texas is like we need to get some kind of a ribbon or a medal or something, I think, even after all these years. So I've got my 8 pens and not quite 8 inks because I have 3 inked with the same ink because of a special little, project I'm doing, which I'll explain. And what we'll do, I'll talk about what each pen is, and then we'll write with it, and I'll show you the ink tile. I have those here. One is still drying. I could not find it, and it ended up being easier to make another one of that one. So maybe I never made one. I don't know. Anyway, first up is the Pelican M800, and it's the blue-black or the black-blue with a fine nib. And I was going to say the ink, but that would spill the beans. We'll do that in a minute, individually as we go. And then next is the Bennu Talisman. Mandrake is the color, and it has a broad nib on it. And then next up is the Twisbee Diamond 580 Iris with a broad nib. You could tell there's a little bit of a theme going there in the middle for my letter writing. I did stub nibs last month mostly. And then next up is the gray Jinhao 80 with a broad real Lamy nib. I just swapped out the nib that came on it. And then next up is the Jinhao 82 in black with a little broad number 5 Goulet nib. That is actually a really sweet little combination. I have a few more colors that I'm going to be working with, but I am planning on some nib, individual little nib purchases so I can keep the nibs seated on these. I don't want to be pulling them off. Once they're on there nicely and I love the combination, I'm going to leave them on. So that's a gradual as I go along kind of project. And then the last 3, the 3 that are inked with the same ink, this is the only pen in this group that's new to me right now. All the rest have been with me for a while. This is... well, they put Moon Man on it, but they are advertising these now as Mayhon, M-A-J-O-H-N. I think that was where they had to rebrand, but this pen still has Moon Man on it, and it's the A1. It's the Pilot Vanishing Point lookalike, and oh boy, I'll have a few words about that because I'm excited. Manuel bought it for me. He heard me talking about it, and I was not hinting. I was not trying to get one right then. I just was really, really interested because one of my pen pals had just got one, and I'm feeling his ears about it, and anyway, he got me a gift card and told me to order one, and so I did. And it was exciting, kind of in the middle of a little bit of a desert there in terms of, new pens, which I don't need any new pens, but I really wanted this. So, okay, this is not the part where I talk on and on, so I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, next up is the Faber Castell Loom with a fine nib. And I didn't look up this colorway. I know it's green, but I think it has a special name, and I will look it up for the description because I want to be able to include that. This was a gift from a pen friend. Now, the Pelican was as well, and this little one next is. But this was one of the first pens sent to me by a pen pal who's still a pen pal who started out with the NaCoWriMo way back in 2017. So I believe, if I'm getting the year right, that's when that started. And I wanted to revisit the pen because fine and extra fine are getting used a lot in my planner and my bullet journal these days. I mean, I have a new appreciation for them, so I'm dealing, I'm really enjoying that little mini study. So next up is the little platinum little shooting star, and it's a little Hello Kitty one. Let's see if I can hold that up, if you can see the little kitty on it or not. It may focus. Yeah, it has a 03 fine nib on it. So, and that pen is just, it's incredible. It feels stronger, the plastic does, than the Preppy. And I smoothed the nib because I don't like feedback. So, me and the preppy nibs don't always get along, but this is just exactly where I wanted it. And when I just jotted it on my little, you know, mini jot page so I can have it in front of me, I thought, wow, it's been a while since I've had it inked up, and I don't know why, because I really like it. Okay, so much for that. Let's go right into the ink journal, which is going to be 68 GSM Tomoe River paper in an old Bond travel gear, you know, hardcover notebook. Yeah, most of you know that, but if you're just popping in today, it's old stock, so they're now under Lockbee, and they're making things a little differently, but okay, we'll change the view and be right back. Okay, first up, I'm using a blue ink that I used in August. So that wasn't planned, but what happened was I was looking at this pen. I knew I wanted to write with this pen again. It's so incredibly smooth. It's just, you know, it's just such a new favorite to me, and it was such a generous gift. But I find that I'm thinking about the pen a lot. It's sitting in the pen case. I don't like it being in the pen case. So I started thinking about what to put in it, and I was going to do Diamine Oxford Blue, but this blue that I used in a little stub nib in August just won't go away in my mind. So I'm going to use this and see how it goes in the Pelikan. So it's the Pelikan M800, I said that, I think. And even though it's a fine nib, to me it writes like a nice medium nib of the pens that I'm used to. So I can't avoid that talking clock. I need to like give it a new home, I guess. M800. I'm going to put blue black, but I'm not sure if it's the other way around. It could be with a fine nib. It's just super smooth. You don't have to use any pressure whatsoever. I just love it. Pilot Asa-gao. And we'll do our little smear. Yeah, it's so incredibly... This is one of the few pens where it's either fine or medium, and I'm still super happy with it writing letters, because normally I go straight for just broad nibs when I write letters. I expect that I'm going to enjoy this because I don't know what it is right now, but this shade of blue is just really happy, and I'm excited about it. So I'll give myself permission to use the same ink twice, 2 months in a row. That's okay. Okay, so next up is the Bennu Talisman in Mandrake. And this is another one of those pens that I can't just leave sitting in the pen case. I think about it all the time. If I hadn't had so many inked up and such a big cleaning party to face, I would have, you know, rushed the gates and gone ahead and inked it before now. But I just inked it today with these others because I'd been thinking about it all August. So that's a shame to have any pen sitting unused when you want to use it. So here we are. It's inked with Sailor 50 States, Louisiana. I kind of like to alternate between a magenta or a teal for this pen. So this is Bennu Talisman. Color is Mandrake. Broad nib with Sailor 50 States, Louisiana. I find this one of the most beautiful inks. Of course, I have other inks that look like it, Solferino and a few of the Noodlers, but I'm not going to let a good ink just sit on the ink shelf and not use it either. So, especially, you know, that one. So, here we go. Okay, and next up, I did a little switcheroo. I went ahead and put a teal ink in this pen, which has kind of the rainbow, the iris finish. And I do see that there's teal and purple and pink, and there's all kinds of possibilities for it. So I went ahead and did that. This is the Twisbee Diamond 580 with a broad nib, and the Pilot Iroshizuku Syo-ro. Okay, I just got this ink. I made a mess with it too. Oh no, this isn't the one I just got it when I ordered the pen that I talked about, and the little bottles are the way for me to go to get to know the Pilot inks. So a long time ago I had a sample of this, In fact, the tile is made from the old sample. I think it was pen friend Karen that sent that. So this is Twisbee Diamond 580 Iris. The broad nib. Boy, I noticed right away the extreme smoothness and flow that this has. It's just really obvious and a good reminder of why it needs to not be in the pen case. Pilot. I don't know why I put Namiki, but it must have said that on the bottle, the sample. Iroshizuku. That may not be a mistake, but I'm not sure. What does it say here? No, it doesn't. So it says Pilot, but okay, so let's do a little smear if we can. Nice and juicy. This will be perfect for letter writing and for journaling in the CVS caliber paper. I'm absolutely sure that those first 3 pens are not going to give me any trouble on CVS caliber. It won't, well, we'll find out. The experiments are yet to come, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, so next up, I put Diamine Oxblood in this little Jinhao 80, the gray one, with a black Lamy broad nib. I had been thinking about these pens too a lot. I think part of it was I was using the stub nibs and I enjoyed them, but it just made me miss my broad nibs with a passion. So Jinhao 80, and we'll put gray so I'll remember which one it was. Broad Lamy nib. Oh wow, that's just as juicy as that as that Diamond 580, and there's a big price difference too, even when you account for a nib, which I didn't buy separately. I already had it on a Safari. So okay, with Diamine Oxblood. Oh, so nice and juicy. So that gives 4 really good pens for letter writing and note-taking. Although I'm not taking a lot of notes. I'm reading almost all fiction this summer. So, okay, next up is the Jinhao 82, I'm sorry. I'm looking right at the wrong thing. 82 in black with a broad silver Goulet, you know, number 5 replacement nib. And I put Jacques Herbin Rouge d'Orient. This was a sample sent in a package of 10 way back in the day when I was reviewing ink, and Goulet Pens sent a sample of each of these inks at the time. And it was wonderful. Somewhere in the archives, I went over them. In fact, I'll see if I can find it. If I can find where that was, I'll link it. I hope I can, but there's almost 700 videos to go through. So, okay, so this is Jinhao 82. See, that's writing so well, there's no way I'll ever take that nib off. It's just perfect. And it's black, can go with every color, so I'm excited about that too. However, I've got a little, pretty little red one that I really want to do something with soon. And it's, oh yeah, broad. I got to put the nib size, Goulet, with Jacques Herbin Rouge d'Orient. Oh, it's so nice. So there we go. That's 5 in a row. Okay, so the last 3 are going to be in a sort of a different category because they're all inked with the same ink, which is my new favorite black, and their purpose, their daily use is going to be a little different. This is all going to be about, you know, note-taking and letter writing. And then these 3, we'll just go one at a time here. I won't have to change the ink tile. The Moon Man Mayhon A1. This has an extra fine little hidden nib here. And wow, I've really been blown away by this. I watched a bunch of videos because I kept thinking that they, you know, it needs time, and I wondered, will people still be so excited about these? But anyway, they seem to be. And people that I really trust, including Wasky Squirrel. So here it is. It's an extra fine, and it's really great for the little Hobonichi planner that I use every day. So I guess we should put the Mayhon or Mayjon or however they say it, because I think you're going to find it easier that way. Extra fine, and it's cross black. And this is really nice. It's not quite as smooth on CVS caliber paper, and I don't that's not what I want it for. I basically want it for my bullet journal and my mostly the Hobonichi. So it's just, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about it because I really like my Pilot Vanishing Point, but I like this nib better. And I could have gone to a fine instead of an extra fine, but I got the extra fine on purpose because I really am getting used to that little tiny grid in the Hobonichi, and I plan to continue. So there it is, and we'll see how we do over a whole month. You know, that's sometimes the oh, we're not changing ink. That's the test, really, is first impressions are one thing, even 3 or 4 days, but then a whole month with 8 pens and you get to know what you like. So this is the Faber Castell Loom with a fine nib, and I was blown away when I did the just tiny little writing on the steno pad there because this is super smooth. And this pen should not be in a pen case. So there's a lot of that going around here. I've had a lot of time to think this summer. Faber Castell Loom. And I'm going to have to look up the color. And it is a fine nib. Oh my goodness. See, and I think where I went wrong when I first started using this, I was trying to put different exotic colors in it. But it's a fine nib. And so most fine nibs and extra fine, I want to see black or navy blue in it. So I guess with all these years now, you know, it's been a few years, I now know what I really want to see. So nice, nice, nice. I keep putting fingerprints on it though. I made a royal mess this morning and I had ink all over me. Okay, so last but not least, this is one of the most fun pens that I write with, and it's probably, well, no, it's not the cheapest here because the Jinhao 80 and 82 would compete price-wise, but so it's right in that arena, right, or it was around $10, $11. Now inflation has gotten a hold, and this has the Hello Kitty, and this was a pen friend gift as well. So here we go. It is platinum, little shooting star. Oh gosh, that's smooth. Thanks to my Nibmeister, me. No, don't ever quote me, because that's one of the things I kind of regret, is working on some nibs when I shouldn't have. Not ruining them, but realizing that if I pass them to somebody else, they're not really what they're supposed to be. So, oh dear. It has to come with a little disclaimer, and I'm certainly not selling anything that I doctored or whatever. So, I just love this pen. I already know it, and it's going to be a jotter. It's going to be for my lists. And I've got where I write what I eat every day. I've got my little lists that I make for not just groceries, but other things that I'm supposed to remember. So that's that purpose category. I can see that this one is the finest. And it's extra fine, so that makes sense. And I know where that's going to live. I'm going to turn around and get the planner here. It's going to be right where it goes. It's going to go right in here for the whole month. Right in the Galen leather cover from my little Hobonichi, and it's going to stay in there very happily because it's just always ready, and so far it has not dried up, so yay! Okay, let's see. But for now, as we transition over to the library, I will put it back with the other pens. Oh my goodness, you can tell I haven't done a video for a while because I am just, I don't want to make anyone dizzy. Okay, so these are the 8 pens and, let's see, 6 inks. There are, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inks, yeah. That I'll be using for September. And I think now I've got a little index card. And there are a couple of things I just wanted to chat about. We'll go to the library and do that. And I'll see you there. There, okay, I'm over at the library, and I didn't bring all the pens, but I brought my little steno so I could kind of remember to talk about a few of them that I wanted to say, just a few things. So that gives me 5 pens that are primarily for letter writing, and then 3 that are mostly for either jotting or working in the planner, which the more that I work in the planner and the bullet journal, the smoother my life seems to go. It seems like if I write it down, it will happen. Or if I write it down, at least I'll remember. You know, if it's somebody else's event, I need to be able to remember that there's an appointment or something that I'm either involved with or I need to know about. So if I encourage myself to have pens right with those individual things, it really helps. So I have a really, really exciting thing that happened this week. It actually happened yesterday, and it doesn't happen very often. And that is that I caught up with replying to all the pen pal letters that I had here in the house. So it just doesn't happen that often because it's an in and out flow constant, you know. And so I was excited, and I thought, well, it may not last. Like as soon as the mailman comes, you know, God willing, there'll be more to reply to, right? So, but I felt like that is very rare, and it made me feel good finally. And there were 3 that were way overdue. So I'm so sorry, but mail is now on the way because just this week I've mailed out, let's see, 5, 6, I think, and that's pretty good for 1 week. I don't know. I moved where I'm writing from my grandmother's desk, which is up here in the library, over to the original pen desk where I have a window right by the well, I call it a desk. It's a table. And I did notice that having extra natural light really, really helped. It seemed to really make a big difference. So, oh gosh, I don't think I remembered to turn off notifications. I really hope that that's not going to be a big disruption. So I'm going to try to get through this, but I'll have to view this to see if it's even going to make it. Oh, I hope so. So as far as 30 Inks 30 Days for September, I'm going to be a spectator because I can feel a lot of pressure from yard work and other projects that are going on, and I don't want to add anything right now to myself. I do have, however, a lot of ink samples, like especially the Birmingham ones that Kathy sent, that I really want to explore. So if I'm successful at doing that, then it'll go right into the ink journal, and during the progress report, I'll show you. And, you know, if I said successful, it's not a failure if I don't get to. It'll mean that I'm just struggling with other things, you know, like trying to get the lawnmower started. But we did that yesterday, and I was able to mow, thank goodness. So that was one thing I just wanted to mention, because I do have a massive ink sample backlog, but I have so much going on that I feel like I could put pressure on myself without really it being very wise to do right now. So I'm not gonna formally join the group, but I'm gonna be checking people's you know, Instagram photos and enjoying seeing the different inks. That's fun all by itself. So, and I know at least one pen friend said she's going to do it, and there's probably many other of you too. So if you want to put in the replies that you're going to be doing 30 Inks 30 days, I'll be especially looking out for what you do in terms of posts or videos. Let's see. I can't read my writing, so... Oh, I just scribbled down something about action versus talking about doing things. Yeah, I have detected and noticed lately that I need to just do things and then talk about them, because if I talk about what I'm going to do, it's almost like a guarantee that it may not get done. So that may not be the best way to explain it, but yeah, it's just going to work out a lot better for me to just kind of show what went on in the ink journal versus trying to do what I used to do, what I used to enjoy so much, you know, getting all prepared and selecting which samples I was going to do, and even making, well, at least twice I did daily videos, which I'll never try again, because my life doesn't, it doesn't work that way, and that much pressure is not healthy for me. But I did enjoy doing like a 4, 5, 6 day, you know, update at a time. But Even that is not on the books right now, not with what else I have going on, so. Oh, and today, or no, yesterday, I got the email from Apple Boom that the order is on its way. So there was a generous person who I'm assuming watches my videos, because otherwise I'm not sure how they know me, and have made a generous gift certificate for me to use at Apple Boom, which I had never ordered from. But I chose a couple of things from there that were, I think I saw at the time it said 7 days or something like that. And I thought, well, I'll just see if it goes through. And so they were back ordered, but that didn't bother me at all, because I think everybody has a little list in the back of their mind of things that they'd like to get, but they probably won't get because, you know, in absence of a windfall, it just isn't going to happen. And I don't want to give away what I ordered, because when I get the box, I can open it and do a, you know, do an unboxing and everything. And that'll be another additional thank you to the anonymous person. Thank you very much. I'm saying it here now, but also, you know, when I do the unboxing, then they can see how I spent the money, like a little kid at a candy store, actually. So, okay, that's everything I wrote down, and I think that's pretty much it. I usually like to predict which pen might end up being the favorite, but that's impossible this time, because, you know, I've got the first three pens, the Pelican M800, the Bennu Talisman, and the Twisbee Diamond 580 Iris. They're gorgeous, and it's fun to write with those, to really write letters where you're thinking, writing, and looking at the beauty of your pen. There's nothing rushed about it. They're beautiful. But I also believe that the next two, the Jinhao 80 with the broad Lamy nib and the Jinhao 82 with the broad Goulet nib, the writing experience is right up there with those other pens. So, I mean, I know because I've written with these before. Like I said, the Moonman Mayhon A1 is the only one totally new to me. So, you know, like I've only had it a few days, and it's brand new to me. It feels like the Loom is new to me, because it's been a shamefully long time since I've inked it up. I have thought about it a lot, but I hadn't actually gone and switched, you know, a converter back into it, that kind of thing, and thought about what I wanted to put for ink. But the cross black looks really good in that. And then the platinum little shooting star, it's probably going to be traveling all over the house, because that's how a pen like that, you know, operates for me. I've got the little Jinhao 248, is it? I don't know why I can't remember. The one that kind of looks like a Kakuno that I got in several colors. I've got cross black in one of those too, but it keeps kind of rotating around. It'll be with my food journal, and then I'll find it over on by the computer desk. And so I could tell I need to have them in more places, but not, I don't want pens rolling around drying up. That would bother me. I don't like fountain pens to get all dried up. So speaking of that, the next thing that I don't mind saying, because I know I have to do it, and the pens are over by the sink. I'm going to have a massive cleaning party, so I'm going to have to dig out some music or something, because probably after I wash the dishes today, I'll do a bunch of cleaning. I want this fresh start with these 8 pens, and that's what I'm going to do. So as always, I love to hear about what you're inking up, and let's meet in the comments. And I won't talk about what I'm gonna do next for videos, because it's a guarantee it'll mess me up if I do, so I'll just kind of go with the flow right now. Being that this is the last day of August, it looks like I've survived August, so yay. Oh my gosh, it's not even funny though. So many places have had even more severe weather, fires, storms, everything. And if you're in one of those affected areas, just know that I'm thinking about you, and, you know, sending up prayers, because so much has happened and continues to happen. And everybody needs that support, and needs just to get through some of the unusual and, I won't say unexpected. We know that storms come and that emergencies happen, but I can barely watch the news right now. It just isn't, it's not something that I can even do. I hear it and see it when I go into my email, just on the edges, because that's all I can intake, I think. But still ticking and still trying to make videos. So I will see you on the next one. But in the meantime, I'll see you in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.